Hello friends, welcome to the King YouTube channel. From the moment Archie and Lilibet joined the family, whether by birth or adoption, it seemed like their presence was more about influence than love. Meghan Markle probably knew from the start that having children was the surest way to keep Harry close. Watching Meghan move through the royal world, using her kids as pawns, feels almost like a Shakespearean play. The once beloved Harry is now caught in Meghan's web, with the world watching as she pulls the strings to keep him near. This isn't about family, it's about control. Meghan's manipulative tactics have never been clearer. Adopted or surrogate children can't claim the throne and aren't heirs, but they do act as anchors. Harry wants to be seen as a man, but he feels overshadowed by his brother, the future king. Harry will let himself be used like a cat to catch mice if it gives the illusion of a family life. His envy of his brother has blinded him to the damage Meghan has caused to the monarchy. I hope he soon realizes the chaos around him. Meghan's lack of foresight and maturity fuels her resentment and envy of Princess Catherine, mostly because Catherine is the future queen. If Meghan had more knowledge and wisdom, she would have realized she had already positioned herself to make a difference in the world when she married Harry. The turmoil in the monarchy seems designed to confuse and divide Harry, keeping him under control. When Meghan realized she couldn't continue pretending about Archie's surrogacy, she knew that staying in the UK would lead to Archie's DNA being tested sooner rather than later. The claims of racism and Princess Catherine's unpopularity are baseless. Meghan doesn't want the world to know she faked her pregnancies and used surrogates, claiming the children are hers and Harry's. She seems unaware that the monarchy has lasted almost 1,200 years, enduring 63 monarchs and countless schemes, often leading to beheadings. Meghan should remember that Princess Diana didn't survive to tell her stories. The monarchy will outlast Meghan's children and her tricks. I doubt Meghan wants the marriage to last. She overwhelmed Harry with affection to secure the royal wedding ring and the wealth that came with it. She thought life as Princess Henry would be about pleasing herself, but found it wasn't. When she realized the responsibilities they promised the Queen, being the faces of the monarchy in the Commonwealth countries, she started painting the royal family as cold, uncaring racists who drove her to suicidal thoughts to justify leaving. Currently, Meghan is using Harry as her pawn, filling his head with lies to make him angry on her behalf and then setting him loose. There are many clips showing her moon bump looking off. One memorable clip shows her in a white wool coat and high heels, bending down to pet a small dog at supposedly 6 or 7 months pregnant. Her quick movements didn't match her claimed stage of pregnancy. Her father said she had a hysterectomy before meeting Harry, suggesting her eggs were frozen, pointing to surrogacy or adoption for their first child. Ancient laws require royal children to be born from the Queen's body. Although Meghan will never be queen, she made sure no royal gynecologist could verify the births. Even though her life seems to be built on lies, Meghan justifies them with the phrase, "My truth, she even lied in court." The woman has no moral compass. Harry allowed the book spare. To include the words, "My memory is my memory," it does what it does, gathers and curates as it sees fit, and there's just as much truth in what I remember and how I remember it as there is in so-called objective facts. No one who knows or taught him would believe he wrote or understood those words. He likely wouldn't even know what curates means in this context. I predict a divorce soon, which will somehow be blamed on us, the so-called haters. Meghan's fans must be blind if they can't tell the difference between hate and criticism. Isn't Harry due to come into some money when he turns 40 later this year? Maybe Meghan is waiting for her share. However, Princess Anne can change the trust terms to 45 or put it in trust for the children. It was originally set for 40. If there's a hint of divorce, Anne can extend it. If Harry hasn't inherited the trust fund yet, Meghan can't claim it in a divorce settlement. Plus, Harry's trust inheritance isn't under the power of a California court. They have no jurisdiction over that money unless he brings it to the US. If the trust pays him, it's Harry's separate money and not community property, as long as he keeps it separate from marital assets. Harry's inheritance could be considered when deciding child support, but it can't be awarded to Meghan as alimony. It's possible Meghan is waiting for Harry's inheritance when he turns 40 this September. However, Harry's trust inheritance isn't under the control of a California court unless he brings it to the US. If he keeps it in the UK, Meghan can't access it. This money is Harry's separate property, not community property, as long as he doesn't mix it with marital assets. This keeps it beyond Meghan's reach, but it could still be considered for child support calculations. This isn't an alimony case, so Meghan can't get the inheritance that way. She might try to extort the money by subtly threatening to tarnish Harry and the family's reputation. She plays hardball when necessary. Poor Harry is in a tough spot. If they adopted the children, fine, but the lies need to stop. Meghan seems to want to leverage the children for more money from King Charles. However, King Charles isn't financially tied to Meghan and owes her nothing. She is Harry's responsibility, not his. Any money Meghan has hidden away was marital funds, which means Harry is entitled to half according to the law. It's not a one-way street. A memorable moment for me was seeing footage of her in a white wool coat and high heels, bending down to pet a small dog while supposedly 6 or 7 months pregnant. Her movements and how quickly she bent and stood up didn't match her supposed stage of pregnancy. However, every pregnancy is different personally. I had no trouble bending or moving, even laying carpet at 8 months. No one who knows him or taught him believes he wrote those words or understood their meaning. He probably wouldn't even know what curates means in this context. That's a valid point. However, he likely used a ghostwriter, so those words were likely crafted by someone else. Meghan thought her idea of privacy would shield her plan from scrutiny. Harry has been influenced by his wife for financial gain. Hopefully for him, Meghan will file for divorce. What nonsense. If she wasn't happy and had her own money, she wouldn't stay with Harry. Alright, enough already. Whether Meghan had children naturally or adopted them, they wouldn't keep her in an unhappy marriage. And despite what anyone says, she's a beautiful woman. With her own money and looks, she could easily find someone else to love. But she's content with Harry and their charity work, so let's leave them be. Oh, give it a rest. Their only charity is for themselves. They don't do anything for anyone. If they're so charitable, why aren't Harry and Meghan helping those abused by the charity he used to be president of, African Parks? He's still on the board, yet the abuse continues. So don't preach about how wonderful and charitable these two are. They jump on every bandwagon but ignore serious issues like that. Everyone knows their supposed charity work is just a cover-up. And let's be honest, she's not exactly a beauty queen. Physically, she's alright, but dealing with her is a real challenge. She seems unhappy with everything and publicly treats Harry quite badly, even though much of it seems to stem from his own vulnerabilities. A shocking revelation has emerged in the media and among royal fans with the release of Andrew McCarthy's documentary, His Brats. This film questions the narrative surrounding Meghan Markle's first pregnancy. McCarthy's documentary, eagerly awaited for its revelations about numerous public figures, has stirred up significant controversy, particularly focusing on the Duchess of Sussex. The documentary presents newly uncovered evidence and statements from anonymous sources claiming proximity to the royal family. It also includes medical records and expert analyses that cast doubt on the circumstances of Meghan's pregnancy. Andrew McCarthy's documentary, His Brats, specifically challenges the circumstances surrounding Archie's birth in May 2019. McCarthy suggests discrepancies in Meghan's public appearances during her pregnancy, particularly regarding the size and shape of her baby bump. These inconsistencies lead McCarthy to speculate that Meghan may have used a surrogate instead of carrying the child herself. Although the documentary does not directly access Meghan's medical records, it features first-hand accounts that contradict the official narrative. McCarthy includes interviews with unnamed medical experts who provide their professional opinions supporting the claim that Meghan did not carry Archie herself. The release of McCarthy's documentary has sparked significant debate on social media platforms like Twitter and Reddit, where discussions about the documentary's findings are intense. Many people have been skeptical about Meghan's pregnancy, and some are now feeling vindicated by McCarthy's claims. Meghan Markle and Prince Harry have not yet publicly responded to the allegations in McCarthy's documentary. However, sources close to the couple indicate that they are considering legal action against McCarthy, citing concerns of defamation and invasion of privacy. Meghan and Harry have a strong history of defending their privacy rights and have previously taken legal action against media outlets for false reporting and invasion of privacy. This latest controversy adds to the series of challenges and scandals that have surrounded Meghan and Harry since they announced their decision to step back from royal duties in early 2020. Their relationship with the British royal family has remained strained, exacerbated by their high-profile interview with Oprah Winfrey, where they made serious allegations about the institution. If proven true, the claims in His Brats could have significant implications. Notably, there's considerable secrecy surrounding who publicly funded the birth of Archie. Meghan reportedly declined the services of the top two obstetric gynecologists who typically offer their services to the royal family for free, a decision captured on video as they left the palace looking puzzled. Who paid for Archie's delivery? Taxpayers in Britain footed the bill and should demand transparency on medical expenses. This includes costs like the champagne celebration, which also ended up being paid for by the government and cost thousands of dollars. Some argue that Meghan's post-pregnancy weight gain is normal baby weight. Did she experience any facial or ankle swelling before her maternity leave? This could be due to hormonal treatments during lactation. Why does a baby bump persist after childbirth? Most hardworking women lose the bulge quickly unless they overeat. Some swelling and loose stomach muscles are normal, but for someone who practices yoga, she still looks 6 months pregnant. Could you please provide me with the hospital where he was born? The hospital stay, use of the labor room, laughing gas for Harry, multiple epidurals for Meghan, and more were all paid for with government funds. She wasn't there. The Linda wing of Portland Hospital, where royals usually have babies, has no record of her checking in or out. Every detail goes into the hospital's official logs, which are important records. If someone leaves without being discharged, they have to sign a form accepting the risks. Why did Kensington Palace announce Archie's birth via surrogacy before the official announcement? When the truth comes out, only an older sibling in line for the throne, destined to be king or queen, would try so hard to protect themselves from being blamed. And why would even a new father, maybe overwhelmed, claim he's already changed so much in 2 weeks when the news just came out at Buckingham Palace? According to Harry, Meghan left the hospital just 3 hours after delivery and was driven over an hour away to Frogmore Cottage. Normally, after receiving an epidural during labor, women stay in bed for 6 to 12 hours. It's hard to believe any doctor would allow Meghan to leave so soon. Discharging a newborn royal just 3 hours after birth, especially after epidurals and stitches, is risky. Without proper medical supervision, the baby could choke on spit up. Meghan could suffer severe bleeding or her stitches could tear while sitting in a car. This whole story doesn't add up. Even after an epidural birth, it's unusual for someone like Meghan, who's considered an older mother at 35, to leave the hospital the same day with stitches. Did the staff at Frogmore provide proper infant care guidance to Meghan? The night nurse hired for the next shift was reportedly dismissed early for unprofessional behavior. This left only Meghan's mother, who allegedly used marijuana in the past but has no medical background, having given birth over 40 years ago. It's unlikely she could assist with the care of the Queen's great-granddaughter. I wonder if the night nurse took a photo of the cord, which supposedly healed miraculously under bandages. As a medical professional, she would have been entitled to document any abnormalities and ensure the cord and clamp were secure before discharge. It's crucial to prevent the baby from getting too cold as well. Did you know that a baby's body temperature isn't regulated by the brain's temperature control center, the medulla oblongata, until they're 3 months old? Take a look at the photo below showing Meghan nursing Archie at a public event when he was just a few weeks old and hadn't yet received his first vaccination in late May or early June. In places like southern Brazil, temperatures can reach 16 to 18 degrees Celsius, similar to a pleasant winter day here in tropical North Queensland. I'm dressed in a t-shirt, vest, leggings, and wool socks because as we get older, our blood vessels narrow and our ability to regulate body temperature, especially in our feet, becomes more like an infant's. This video has been widely seen on social media, and Meghan has faced criticism for what some see as negligent treatment of her child. But as a first-time mother, how would she know the best way to care for a child if she didn't give birth in a hospital? Doria, as a midwife, would offer advice to new mothers on bathing, feeding, changing diapers, and protecting their babies from potential dangers in the environment. She would also recommend keeping newborns away from public places for the first 12 weeks to avoid exposure to illnesses. It's important to shield babies from windy conditions as they can catch colds or have trouble digesting food, leading to vomiting. Always keep their feet covered with booties or socks because newborns are prone to leg cramps, which are very painful and can cause overheating. If a baby cries without an apparent reason, gently massage their legs and feet to help prevent leg cramps. Check their hands and feet for warmth. You can detect an ear infection by smelling around their ears, so stay alert for any unusual odors. Also, feel their head for excessive warmth and monitor their temperature if they feel hot. Why hasn't Meghan ever talked about her knowledge of caring for infants despite all her public speaking? She hasn't mentioned a word about it, focusing instead on luxury spending, alleged thefts of high-end items, private flights, and romantic vacations. Now that Archie is 5 years old, it seems she wants to return to the castle and keep him hidden away until she's ready to reveal his schooling and how he's growing up in Los Angeles. She gained more credibility than the mainstream media during Archie's birth announcement. According to a birth report she shared, Mary Diana Mountbatten Windsor was born on June 4th at a women's health center in Los Angeles. When I clicked on the link she shared, I saw the details presented clearly in black, blue, and white. I saw it myself and won't swear to its truth until it's confirmed as accurate. Perhaps I wasn't familiar with taking screenshots at the time, or perhaps I didn't anticipate the record being cleaned up. It was cleaned up, but it's clear that no one anticipated it would disappear or that copies of the original recording would circulate over social media. The closest proof I can find for my claim is this Reddit post by Saint. Meghan, the kid Lilette Diana, was born at Santa Barbara Cottage Hospital with Dr. Melissa Drake. According to the follow-up record, it appeared suspicious when the clinic's employees announced on social media that no births had taken place that day. This suspicion was increased when Dr. Melissa Drake was spotted in Los Angeles on June 4th. The OB-GYN closed her Santa Barbara clinic in just 2 weeks. I'm therefore going to discuss Lilibet. Though there are restrictions on how long eggs can be preserved owing to the possibility of Down syndrome and other fetal abnormalities, I still think Harry is the biological father. Meghan's eggs have passed their expiration date. I think there's a chance the surrogate gave birth to twins and was only supposed to keep one of them. Well, that's all for today's video. Thank you very much for watching our video, and I want to know what you think about these issues. Please express your opinion in the comments below. Hope you will always be cheerful and happy. Don't forget to support us by liking, sharing, and subscribing to the channel. Goodbye and see you again in the next videos.